Good morning. Did you see I'm like totally jamming out? Good morning, everyone. Good evening, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to another episode of Talking All Things Brands. This is such a joy to be here today. Grateful for another day to do it again, and I'm so excited for this conversation. You are going to meet my brother from another mother. So our guest today is AJ Wills. He is a brand consultant and strategist. That's why I say he's my brother from another mother. He's the managing director over at AJ Wills Media, and he's also the team lead for the Eastern Region Media Excellence Awards. I'll tell you how AJ and I met. And so this is why when we talk about why building a brand is important and why staying in the essence of your brand is critical, why showing up matters, why raising your hand equals magic, and as my mentor Keelan loves to say, connections equal currency. So I was in a meditation challenge. One of my really good friends and clients invited me to a Deepak Chopra meditation challenge, and I put the request out there for others to join me. And part of the challenge, I think it was like a 21-day challenge, part of the challenge was, you get to do whatever the meditation is, and then the assignment was to come back and say completed or something like that. And of all the people that I invited who said, yeah, I want to do this, during that challenge, AJ was the only one who completed the entire assignment. So for me, that was like a light bulb moment. Like, this is a person who has integrity and keeps his word to himself. And because of that, and only because of that, I gave him a scholarship into the Brand Accelerator program. And it has been one of the best decisions I've ever made. He shows up consistently. I said in our group coaching call yesterday to my clients, I said, the kudos and the accolades are wonderful, right? I receive them, and I'm grateful, and I thank God that you think highly of me. And the real way you get to express gratitude to me is by showing up. Show up when I show up. Do the work. Be engaged. All the things, because that is the truest essence to building a brand. There is no overnight get rich quick scheme when it comes to building a brand, because as I said in my reel on Instagram and on Facebook, your brand is an experience. It's not just your logo, even though that sort of aggregates into the expression as well. It's not just your website, your marketing materials, your business card. It's not that. It's the experience people have with you when they encounter you as you move through this earth. It's your promise of value. What do people immediately think when your name comes up? That's your brand. Like, in the simplest way that I can break this down for you. So sometimes we get confused and think, oh, I got new cards, or I picked some colors that I like, and you think you have a brand. No, ma'am. No, sir. It's what is the word about you on the street. It's your reputation. So the word on the street for me about AJ was, this is somebody who has integrity. This is somebody who keeps his word to himself. I get to be in close connection with him. Do you see how that worked? It's your beingness. He didn't reach out to me and say, hey, can you scholarship me? None of the things. That was between me and God. But the reason he rose to the top in my mind was his way of being, and those ways of being communicate. We're doing a whole series this month on Everything About You Speaks. So that spoke volumes about him, and because of that, he's now a lifetime accelerator. So please let us give a big branding welcome to AJ Wills, all the way from the motherland. Shout out to AJ from Ghana. Welcome to the show, AJ. It's so great to have you.
Hi, Faith. Thank you so much.
Do you remember? Of course you remember, because that story like sticks with me. But as you heard me retell it, what came up for you?
Actually, it made me feel. It made me appreciate everything you did for me. Since then, it has made me as a brand itself.
Yes, the showing up part, I can't speak. What time is it in Ghana now?
That's 4 p.m.
Okay, and it's 11 a.m. here on the East Coast of the United States, and he is here with us from the motherland, from Ghana, and I celebrate you. Your energy is so captivating, and I thank you for being you. I thank you for showing up as an example of what it looks like when you give your word to yourself. That's one of the key things that you get to hear me say when it comes to branding, talking all things brands. It's your way of being. How do people feel in your presence? It's not the website, it's not the logo. We can't say that enough. And like I say, even though that all makes up part of the package, it's the overall aggregate, the experience. So AJ, tell us a little bit about you, how you got started in branding. Like, give us your journey story, your creation story.
All right, Faith. Thank you so much. And it's to everyone who has tuned in. All right. So Angel Wells. I'm not naturally some. But when I was growing up, I worked in the insurance sector, for the advertising sectors as well. So I did a little bit of marketing. What I studied in school was pure agricultural science. So I'm a science background, but I diverted into marketing. Advertising, then I have a very good thing about creative. I like creative things like finding on the. I'm also IT inclined a little bit. It was one day I was one gentleman called C from Nigeria. Who he was talking about branding, and it was so fast. Because when he was talking about it, something without knowing much about branding, I said easy. And with my creative background as well, good things diverted. So I decided to take that up. I want to be a brand consultant in the for the rest of my life. Gave me some books to read. And practically that is how I became a brand.
Wow.
And since then I've been growing, earning from every part or that I can. And by God I got you faith and I'm here with you.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You know, one of my mentors, Jan and Chris, they always talk about, you know, connecting the dots. And if you can sort of just be in the moment of where you are right now, but then just take a moment to look back and say, how in the world did I get here? And remember at the top of the hour, I just talked about connection equals currency. So AJ saw CJ, got connected. I was part of, and still I am part of CJ's WhatsApp
Dream
group.
Hub.
Yeah, Dream Hub, WhatsApp group. Got connected to AJ that way because I think that is actually where I posted the link for the Deepak Chopra challenge. And then AJ being himself. So I want to hear you this. This wasn't the hookup. It wasn't like I said to CJ, hey, who do you have that is interested in branding that I could mentor? These were the connection moments. But if AJ, so I want to give you back the credit, AJ. If you did not show up in the beingness of who you are, we would not be sitting here today. Truth? Yes. And so this is something I want the audience to take away, is be so focused on, how am I being right now? How am I being right now? What is my energy? What is the vibe that I'm radiating? And be able to check in with yourself honestly and say, okay, I get to shift, or I get to do something different, or I get to do more of this, because again, it's the energy that you're emitting that attracts. We're all energy. And so AJ emitted a brand signal that is so core to who I am. So I'm able to recognize that. I'm able to see beyond the surface of, oh, well, he's not in this country. So he's probably not going to be, this is what people do. Not in this country, so he's probably not going to be able to refer me a lot of clients. I'm not. But because my work is a ministry, because God himself is the chairman of my board, we operate on a different plane. And I want you to hear me say your beingness, the way you are being. Jesus said, when I was in prison, when I was hungry, when I was naked, right? He's talking about the least of these, the small little things. When I was in prison, you came and visited me. When I was hungry, you fed me. When I was naked, you clothed me. Those are the ways of being. It's not, oh, you gave, 25% of your earnings to the church, so you're, great saint. It's who can you reach out to? Who can you connect? So when you talk about building your brand, it's about connection. Connection equals currency. And you do it from a place of service, because I didn't know that, this day, February 15th, AJ and I would be sitting here today, and it's God's will be done. You're just his hands and feet. So do the things like hashtag be like Jesus. What would Jesus do? Right? And that's the most important thing you get to do. So let's talk a little bit about the industries and the sectors in Ghana that you are doing branding for. Like, are you finding that a lot of the entrepreneurs or the small business owners there have a big appetite for building their brands, etc.? Tell us a little bit about what's going on in the motherland.
All right, thank you. For the past years, so much in brand. All they were thinking about is whether they are well, appearing well on all the other talent. So when you go to them and tell them you want love the brand for them, help them. That's it.
Hey AJ,
don't allow them
let me interrupt you for a quick second. Your mic is sort of coming in and out. Is it help if you come closer, or like we're hearing? I don't know if it's just me or the audience is hearing that as well. It kind of comes in loud and clear, and then it goes away.
Probably it's a bit the network. Let me see.
Okay, yeah, I know you did tell me that there were some network issues. Well, listen, we'll do the best. We'll do the best we can. Let's see how we go.
All right. Can you hear me now, please?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So as I was saying, so because of that, it was difficult to get people to buy into the branding. So you have to convince them so much to be able to buy and understand what branding is all about. But gradually through education. So what I did is before I talk about branding, I tried to educate them. I tried to give them knowledge on why doing things in a different way, we can bring different results and greater results for them. And how if the position themselves as the go-to business, people will come to them, and all falls on the branding.
Yeah.
So once you tell them that, they begin to understand your concept. So you don't put out your strategy, and how you can do this. In marketing brand is the brand that you are marketing. So if you don't have a very solid brand, so that service, you cannot market that brand.
This is such a good point. I get to illuminate this. So what AJ just said was, before he was having to convince and cajole and push people, because most people aren't thinking in terms of building a brand, right? There's been a long sort of trading up that only the things that have brands are like the big mega Fortune 10, Fortune 100, Fortune 500 brands. And the truth is, everybody gets to hear this. This is a writer downer. We all have a brand. It's not if you have one or if you don't, you have one. Because what did I say before? It's your way of being. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you work at a company, you're a W-2 salaried employee, you get a paycheck every 2 weeks or every month, and your way of being, you're always late, you always have a bad attitude about the boss, you're a gossiper. When there are special team assignments, you're like hiding under the table because you want to leave work exactly at 5, if not before. Right? So these are the ways that you consistently show up. Monday late, Tuesday just on time, Wednesday super late, Thursday didn't even come to work, didn't call in, all of it Friday, you come in, just with like a really bad attitude and leave early. So you consistently show up that way. You don't volunteer for assignments. You are tearing down the boss behind the boss's back. That is your brand. So remember what is so important, you get this. You didn't build a logo. You didn't build a website. Nobody's doing any marketing for you. It's you showing up to your job every day in this way of being. Late, angry, gossiper, lazy. That's your brand. So that if they say, oh, let's ask so-and-so if they would be willing to do X, Y, and Z. The other employees are going to be like, oh, please forget it. You'll be lucky if you see them before 10 a.m. That is your brand. Do you get this? This gets to land here today. Let me give you another analogy. The difference between marketing and brand, because AJ talked about the fact that people are like, yeah, I'm going to market. And marketing is important, right? We get to send the messaging out. But how much more beautiful and powerful and in flow and ease when you build a brand and the people come to you. So you're not, because marketing is this, right? You're out there pushing your message out. You're going to network events. You're chasing people around the room with your business card. Buy my stuff. Whereas if you built a brand, your reputation precedes you. So people are coming to you. So let's take the example of a baker. One baker is out there doing, BOGOs, buy my stuff, get, half price off, push. And another person who is also a baker, the door is jam-packed and lined around the corner. The people are coming to this baker and they're saying, I hear you have the best red velvet pies. I hear. The other baker is pushing. I have the best red velvet pies. I have the best red velvet pies. Buy one, get one. Get the peach cobbler. I have the best red velvet pies. The other baker, the people are coming to him and saying, I hear you have the best red velvet pies. I need a dozen for an event I'm catering. Do you see the difference? But to get to that place where the people are coming to you it takes consistency. It takes a vision. It takes a level of commitment that maybe you haven't expressed to yourself heretofore, but you get to do that. I'll give you a real story. Like literally, this happened last week. So again, remember, connections equal currency. So the president of an agency I've known for years, and we reconnected, and I did some work for her with some of her clients. And because of my way of being and the way I show up, the word on the street about me is, if you want a strategist who can help you with brand positioning, who can help you with all the things, her name is Faith. And maybe last week I got just like a random email from one of the directors at the agency. Oh, we're working with a new client and they need some help figuring out their brand identity and, you know, how they should position themselves. Can you get on a call with me and my client? I didn't go pitch them and say, hey, listen, if you guys have any projects, think of me. I'm really great at brand identity and brand strategy. I wasn't out there doing none of that. I was busy minding my business, and an email came around copying the client. Right. So here, I want you to watch that. The client was CC'd on the email. If they thought for a second, oh, this chick is no good because she's doesn't keep her word, she's tardy for the party, they wouldn't put their client on the email. They would check first, like, hey, are you still in business? Are you still doing that thing called branding? Okay, right? And so I responded, supported the client even more than she asked for. She just emailed me this morning saying, hey, we're a go. This is what the proposal is. I need you to send me over some slides and da-da-da-da. That was a come to me because my brand is built. I want you guys to get this so much. So continue, AJ. So now they're kind of getting it. And what I love that you said was about the education part, because for a lot of small businesses and a lot of entrepreneurs, when you're thinking about your brand and how you're positioning it to your potential clients, it gets to be in the form of solving a problem. Like, it's not just buy my stuff. It's not just, hey, you know me, you owe me. I came to your event last month, AJ. You owe me. You can't mean mug people into doing business with you. You got to provide a solution. So the way that you do that is you understand their business. You understand what are their challenges. What's their 3 a.m. problem? Somebody hashtag that. What is the 3 a.m. problem? Meaning, what's keeping them up at night? What's keeping them up at night? And then you come with a solution that your company can sort out for them and showing them the path. Last thing I'll say on this, when Moses was delivering the children of Israel out of Egypt, he didn't give them the roadmap and the blueprint for how they're going to get out. He didn't say we're going to turn a left here, then we're going to go 10 miles down to the Red Sea. He just said, I'm taking you to a land of milk and honey. And that was what was enough. That's the promise of value. I don't care how you get me there. What direction did you say milk and honey? And we don't have to be baking out in this hot sun trying to find our own hay to make bricks and getting whipped and lashed by slave drivers. Great, take me. So if you can deliver your solution to your prospects in the form of promised land language, I know this is your problem. This is what my thing can do. I had a client who was just like this. This was her challenge. Here's what we did with her. She's happy as a lark now. So AJ, so tell us more, like how have you been educating them? What are some of the things that you're doing in Ghana to help educate the business owners there?
All right. Thank you, Faith. So when I became much more active in the branding space, what I did was branded anytime I was on the radio or interviews or anything. So I make sure I was bringing and sounding the word branding in every second. So it got to a point where people started asking more personal than branding. Then give me the opportunity now educate them about what branding is all about, why they need it. So I had artists who are musicians who also wanted to position themselves in the music industry so that they could position themselves well and also do work in the music. I had radio personalities who also wanted to change the way they hear, the perception that people have about them. So it was a gradual process, and I was getting the attention of the people. So I managed to put all that together. Then I now went full into branding for them to understand that, hey, if you want to get to point B from point A, you need to do A, B, and C in order to get to that point B. That will give you that pure and then you're looking out. So it was a gradual process. People started hearing of me radio talks, and once in a while someone decided to ask questions about branding. The next day someone calls me and I talk. So that is how from stage to stage.
Yeah.
And in all these things I was learning, and I was learning from them. I was learning myself as well. And anytime I meet someone who wants to talk about branding, I first of all want to know the industry they belong to. Then secondly, I always want what they want to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
What they want the brand to be known for. How people should recognize their brand. So when I get this information, it helps me to put together a good strategy how they can push this agenda to the people or their audiences in order to bright people in the
Stick a pin, as we say in Jamaica. Stick a pin. That means let's pause. Did you hear what AJ just said? Questions. Asking questions. A lot of time, business owners, entrepreneurs, they're so led by the sale. I just want to land this client. You're so busy focusing on what you're trying to get out of it. You're not hearing. You're not actively listening. Here is a tip. You want to close more deals. You want to get closer to the finish line. Ask more questions. Ask more questions. Don't just get on a call or a Zoom and start shouting your credentials and how awesome you are to them. That is not the point yet right now. I'm going to give everybody this pro tip. When you do a complimentary call or a session or anything where you're meeting with a potential prospect who either took the time to email you or asked for the meeting. Let's just say this, you know, your brand is set up so to the point that you either have like a lead magnet or you have a place on your website where they can, you know, write in and book time with you or whatever it might be. But they asked for the time with you. Everybody write this down. The very first thing that gets to come out of your mouth. It's not keying, it's not chit-chatting. It's not like, oh my gosh, did you see all the conversation about Riri? Oh, I can't believe, girl. We're going to save that for YouTube when I go ham on the people who have something to say about Riri. But when I'm in a call, this is what I want you to get. Mindset. Shift your mindset to you are the doctor. You are like a physical, real MD. When you think about when you go to see your doctor, they're not keying with you. Because listen, first of all, they're like, I got to get you in and out in 15 minutes because we're backed up with patients coming in. The first question, what brought you in today? What brought you in today? Why are we here on this call? And you stop and you listen. If you're on a phone, you have your pen and your pad and you're getting ready to write. Pause. Don't fill in the blanks for them. Don't say, oh, did you get here from my lead? That is not the time yet in the conversation. Why are we on this call today? How can I help you? How can I serve you? And you stop and you listen and you write. When you do that, you are commanding the pro chair. You're letting them know you came in to see me because I have the potential solution. So as a professional, I'm going to honor my time as well as yours. I'm not going to chit chat about a whole bunch of stuff. Why are we here today? What brought you in today? How can I support you? And you stop, you listen, and you write. If you want to be even more pro, if they booked on your calendar or whatever, and it was like a 30-minute call, you get to remind them, hi AJ, so I see we have 30 minutes blocked here. I want to make the best use of the time so that I can be of service to you. So why don't we just get started? Let me know, what is it that brought you to the call today? And I stop. That's it. Be the doctor, be the pro in the room. The minute you start to kiki and talk about the soccer match and talk about this and that and then the Super Bowl game, and you've lost your ability to be seen as the professional. Now you're like level to level. So it's like, if I'm just like, whatever, it's casual, it's whatever, I don't, you've lost that tension. And I'm saying tension in a good way. You want to hold that tension and position yourself as a pro. How can I serve you today? Why are we on this call today? Very important. If you're starting off your calls any other way, take that as a free pro tip. I paid a lot of money to learn that sales process. Shout out to Julie Surratt. But you do that. Be the pro. Ask the question. Stop, listen, active listen, and write. So questions, AJ, you talked about asking them the questions, and that's so important. And then so from that point, when you get the answers, is it that you're formulating your thoughts in that moment, or is it sort of like a comeback and write a proposal? How are you doing your engagements?
All right. So at that point, I'm jotting things down. So I jot the serious points, the most important points that the client is. Sometimes they talk without knowing they talk about 40 important points. So I know the point I'm looking out for. So I just jot them down. Sometimes I go back and you said this. You mean it this way, or you mean it the other way? So that I can get clarity from them as well. So once I'm done with that, I go back. I tell them I'll be back with a proposal on how we can move forward. And things that needs to be done.
Yeah.
So I go back, formulate formula, strategies, and everything. I go back. For them, that we both go into it. Sometimes they'll tell you, okay, can you change this part to make it this way? So we brainstorm till we get a perfect strategy, and now we take it from there.
Brilliant. Okay, that just reminded me. I wanted to say something about when this is sort of like for the brand position. So pricing, I've done a pricing masterclass before on how to price. I will repeat that because it's always something that, people struggle with. So let me just first say on that, there is no quote unquote right number. It's your number. It's a number that you can stand behind. It's a number that you can defend. And more importantly, it's a number you won't feel resentment for if the client says yes. So I have a whole series where we talk about price out resentment from your offers. That means is if only one person takes you up on the offer, you're not going to be resentful, like, oh my gosh, I'm doing all this work and I'm only getting, $500. It's your opportunity to say, if only one person purchases this, I still feel good about it because I'm pricing in my worth. And be okay with sometimes not getting a project because it's that they don't have the budget. So let me just give a pro tip on this. If they come back to you and you've done, what AJ says, you've asked the questions, you understand what their 3 a.m. problem is, you've written the proposal based on what you think is the best strategy, and here's the budget, and they're like, oh wow, it's more than we can afford at this time. Everybody lean in, listen in, put big hearts. You're going to want to thank me for this. It is okay to meet a client's budget. However, something must be removed from the proposal. I'm going to say it again. If you've given a client a proposal and they look at it and they say it's great, but we just don't have that budget. You're proposing $15K, we only have $6K. Great. Let me take this back and see what I can do to revise this to still give you the best outcomes possible, but that it now meets your budget. Because you don't have to give them a price right there on the call. You go back and you look. So let's just say if AJ had, a VIP day, there's a brand strategy kickoff with the team. He's going to interview all of the C-level executives. Then he is going to, do a workshop. And then from there, he's going to present them with 5 ideas for a brand identity for the company. If all of that was $15,000 and they say they only have $6,000, at least 2 or 3 things get to be removed. I don't care what it is. I'm not coaching you on that part right now. I just need you to catch what I'm saying to you. Something has to come off, because otherwise what you're saying was, oh, I just made up a number. Oh, you want to pay 6 for this? Okay, great. There it is. It's exactly the same. Then you've lost credibility. Then you've lost the power position, because it's like, wait, is it really $6,000? Is this thing really now $2,000? You get to hold the line. Nobody gets to tell you what your brand pricing gets to be. You test and learn. So with this example, this real example that just happened with me last week, I gave them 2 options. And I told the client, because here's what I did. I didn't even ask her what her budget was. That's a pro move right there, because that lets her know I am unconcerned with what your budget is at this moment. As the pro, as the strategist, I'm going to tell you what you need based on the goals and objectives that you stated. So I said to her, I'm just going to do a zero-based accounting. I'm just going to do zero-based pricing. This is what it costs to do these things. So I gave 2 options. So that's another way that you can, if you're trying to test out and see, like, what are people willing to pay if you don't have a track record of what your pricing is. So I gave 2 options. And of course, the 2 options had very different things. This option had 1 virtual workshop. This one had like 2 or 3. So already I'm letting her know you can have the full complement, but this is what it's going to cost. Or you can have this, and this is what it's going to cost. So if that's landing for everybody, I want to see in the comments, put like landing, because that is so important. You give 2 options, and if they say, oh, I only have 5,000, you're like, great, let me go back and revise. Let me go and see what we can do. And then you come back with the 5,000, but some things have got to be taken off. Yes? Brilliant.
Sure.
Okay. So this is such a good teaching moment for so many people. I hope many more people will actually catch the replay on this, because AJ, how long have you been in business? How long have you, I know you were doing the agriculture and the insurance, and when did you literally say, okay, I've declared I am now a branding strategist?
Since 2018.
2018. Yeah? 2018?
Yes.
So
yes.
What I want you to hear from AJ's conversation is, it's okay to find your way. everybody's not just gonna wake up like, oh yeah, I'm 1 year old now, I'm gonna be a brand strategist, right? You find your way into it. So if you're at a place now and you're watching this and you're thinking, wow, he seems so locked in and so certain. He was selling insurance before. He was doing agricultural science before. So just be in the know that you get to explore. But here's the thing, is that you keep in momentum. This is the key, that you keep checking things out. Like, okay, let me try this. Oh, I think I might like accounting. Let me get a course or some, no, I didn't like that. It's okay to be a wanderer. You just don't get to loiter. Do you know the difference between a wanderer and a loiterer? A wanderer is moving about the country. They're moving about the planet. They're moving through God's green earth. A loiterer is just hovering, circling in the same spot. Monday, you see them at the same corner. Tuesday, when it's like, what's this? What is he still doing here? A wanderer, you're like, oh my gosh, I wonder where they are now, where they're going. It's a difference, right? There is movement, but you can be moving in circles, or you could be moving in a direction. I'm not even saying the right direction, but you're moving, you're exploring, you're discovering, you're trying to figure out, you're on a quest for your purpose. You're on a quest for, where is my thing? And everybody doesn't wake up with it, but as long as you keep moving, as long as every day you're doing something a little bit more for your brand and seeing if this is someplace you want to land, that is another pro tip I want everybody to hear and see. AJ, that he didn't just wake up one day in Ghana and was like, oh, brand strategy, right? Connections. And he was willing to show up to different places. This is what, thank you God, this is what it is. He was willing to show up to different places. He didn't know me from anywhere. Meditation challenge. What's this chick talking about? I'm into branding. He was willing to show up to different places, always being a yes. Always be a yes. Because here's why I'm always such a yes. My mentor Julie, she says that's one of the things she loves about me. I'm always a yes. Because I know I'm covered by the blood. I don't worry about where I go. Oh, I'm not going to go. Listen, there could be 25 haters in the room. I'm still going to go check it out and see, God, do you have anything for me here to do? Okay. This is where you want me? Wonderful. We're going to change some minds and hearts. Perfect. I'm here for it. Be open. What's the worst thing that can happen? You go to a networking event and you're like, those weren't my people. Okay, great. So now you know. When you see this event pop up, you're like, okay, I'm not going to put that on my calendar, but let me go try this one over here and see what this one's about. Always be willing to go into different rooms. Always be willing to go to different places. So AJ, you're just such a shining example for me of what the beingness, right? I didn't look at it. I need you to catch this, everyone. I didn't look at his work and go, oh, he's got a great eye for design. I really love the mat on this paper. Yeah, let me bring him in. I could really mentor him into zero, nothing. It was AJ and his way of being willing to show up and be who he is in a different surrounding and having no fear around it. Meditation challenge. What? That's how you got? Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Yes.
So in our and listen, if you are watching and you have any questions for AJ, you want to ask him anything about Ghana and anything, this is your time to connect with him. AJ, how can the people connect with you? I'm going to write some stuff down. Give me your, let me find it here. Give me your Instagram.
Instagram is AJ Will.
Well, ZZ?
Yes, easy.
So 2 L's, 2 Z's.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay. All right. So there it is. Go connect with AJ over on Instagram.
Throughout all the social medias, AJ Wills.
Okay, there it is. All the social media. So if you're on LinkedIn, connect with him on LinkedIn. If you're on Twitter, if you're on Instagram, Facebook, connect with him, because what did I say to you at the top of the hour? Connections equals currency.
Currency.
Connections equals currency, because you don't know who God is putting in your path. You know, Thomas Jefferson has a great quote where he says, some people miss opportunities because it shows up in overalls and it looks like work. It's like, oh Lord, I gotta go I gotta go log into my Instagram. I don't remember my password. Yes, ma'am. Because that could be a connection that yields massive currency. You don't know what God has planned, ma'am, sir. You don't know. But this is the one thing I want to leave everybody with, is just to go. When God says go, go. Don't come to him with the reasons, the stories, the excuses. Oh, I can't find my Instagram password. You're watching this for a reason. You're here for this moment for a reason. Build your connections. And so go follow AJ on his socials. Now, let's go. Because you never know. I mean, I tell you, I connected with a gentleman. He was in the Philippines, and I think it was right before COVID was happening. He had a big event that he was doing, and he was going to have me be a speaker. I'm telling you, I'm always a yes. Did you say in the Philippines to go speak on a stage about branding? Sure. Because guess what? I'm covered by the blood. I'm not worried about how you're going to go to the Philippines by yourself. And I walk with the Lord. His rod and his staff, they comfort me. Yes. So be willing. This is a lot of people say, I'd say this, don't ask God to guide your steps if you're not willing to move your feet. Okay? Let AJ be a lesson for you. We have never physically met in person, right? He's in another country. I've never been to Ghana. I you know, he's not here in Florida. We've never, and he's one of like my dear friends. He's a client. I mean, he is just an example of what can happen when you're a yes to your possibilities. You don't even have to know all the details or how it's gonna. You're just a yes to the possibility, and you're willing to go for it. So AJ, I want you to leave the audience with like a word of encouragement. I am going to leave. I'm going to give you the stage, and I just want you to speak to the people who might be like, wow, that sounds great, but I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I would be so afraid to leave my good, secure insurance or architectural science thing and to go into this thing called branding, and you got to convince people. Like, I want you to speak to them, to their heart. You have the floor.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. So everyone, thank you for joining Faith and I for this talk show. The little thing I can say is that fear cripples man, and the more we fear, the more it limits us. There's limitation when we limit our minds. Once we set ourselves aside and say we're going to limit our thoughts, we're going to limit how we feel about things, it's already a limitation by itself. All right. So fear itself is a limitation, and God has given us the power and the strength to overcome fear. So sometimes the things might not be clear to us. Sometimes we might not know the path to take, but sometimes we need to show up. She has always been talking about showing up. Sometimes you just need to show up. I don't know who wants to hear this or who needs to hear this, but everything we perceive and think of is possible. The law of attraction, what we think about on a constant daily basis, is what we attract to ourselves. So if we want to succeed in every field we find ourselves, I believe that we need to attract that feeling. We need to be in tune with nature. We need to feel that bond with nature and always pray. She said that God cannot order your steps if you're not ready to take a step. So we should be ready to take the step. I took the step. I left my jobs and I started my own business in branding. Today, I'm a brand consultant and strategist. I run my own business, AJ Wills Media. I develop websites for companies. I do creative designs for people and everything. So it's not easy. Nobody said it's going to be easy, But what is important is you need to be consistent and keep showing up. The more you keep showing up, the more you keep doing what you do, the more you keep growing. Today, I have clients all over the world, in the US, in the UK, Australia, Nigeria, South Africa, not because I went looking for them, but because I showed up with my work and people referred me. I had referral. Most of my businesses are through client referrals. Someone comes, I give them that experience. Always give an experience when you're dealing with people. And that experience can either make them stay or make them move away from you. So it's best to always give them the best experience that will make them come back to you. A brand must be able to give an experience that will retain a client. So that is what I do most of the time. And I'm always positive minded. I believe in positivity and I believe in growth. So wherever you are, we can connect on any day, anytime. We can share ideas. We can talk about branding. We can talk about motivations. We can talk about anything that can keep us going. I'm open and I'm always ready. And thank you, Faith, for this amazing opportunity. Ever since I met you, the courses, the brand talks, everything has also shaped me to move into a different dimension in my branding journey. And I'm so grateful for that opportunity. And I keep learning each and every day. And I keep adding more value to who I am and to the business that I do. So thank you so much.
I receive that. This is what makes my heart sing. When I can see lives transformed, when I can see brands transformed and continuing to grow beyond whatever we thought was possible in the beginning. Like this is gold for me. So thank you for being you. Thank you for showing up the way that you show up and being an example for the rest of us. So I just want to say to people who are watching who may not know, like we're talking about, Brand Accelerator, what is this thing? This year, 2023, one of the things I decided to do was to, as I like to say, go ham on the accelerators. Like, this is my number one focus because these are the lives that I hold in my hand, right? I'm transforming lives across the world. And it's important for me to show up in a way that's service beyond what's the norm, what's expected. Many programs that people will either encounter on, the internet or wherever, it's limited engagement, it's limited interaction. Maybe you get a course and maybe you talk to somebody once a month. That's it. And I get to be different because I get to serve from a spirit of excellence. I get to serve from a place where I am giving more in use value than I'm getting in cash value. Shout out to Wallace Waddles. And so the program, the Brand Accelerator program and accountability is my brainchild. It's my signature program. It's how I show up. It's my ministry. And one of the things I decided to do this year was to give even more. So this platform, Talking All Things Brands, is a new talk show that was created for this year. And the way that people get on is either they sponsor, they pay to come on, or if you're an accelerator, you get this platform anytime you want it. So because AJ is in the accelerator program, he gets this opportunity to come and, talk with me, inspire people across the world, showcase his brand, get connected to other people that he may or may not have had the opportunity to be connected to. And that is just one of the member benefits of being an accelerator. So I can just tell you, this is unlike anything anywhere. There is no coach, no strategist, nobody, no nothing doing an on-demand talk show for members where people can connect, they can come on and give their offers, whatever they're promoting. Like if AJ wants to come back next month, unlimited, this is how big I show up for my clients and for the members of the accelerator. So if you're like, well, yeah, I sure want to be in, then I want you just to comment below in the comments the word accelerator, and my team and I will get information over to you. We'll probably send the link directly where you can sign up. Right now, it's on a special promo. It's normally $8.97. It's on a special AppSumo promo for only $97, and that's a one-time pay. You pay a $97 bill for life. Like, this is the other craziness, and I'm telling you that God is just like, do what I tell you to do. I'm like, okay, you pay once, and your hashtag Faith for Life. Everything we do is yours, and we're in there weekly with coaching. Every week we do a brand momentum hour. Yesterday was 2 hours. And every month we do a live Zoom Q&A where all of the accelerators come and I do live coaching with them. So if that sounds good and you're like, yeah, I would love this level of support. I would love a coach who's like literally turning over her platforms to her clients so that they too can get exposed and connect with more people. That's you. Comment accelerator below. We will get you the details. Hello, Maxine, beautiful. I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Maxine is one of our accelerators. And I mean, you can ask anybody how amazing the support is. And I don't say that to be boastful. I say that to be accurate. It is truth. So AJ, any final words?
All I can say is thank you for the opportunity, and I pray the first times on a smile, we can always expand into.
Oh, I receive that. Thank you, my love. Thank you so much. Thank you for being the bright light that you are. Hang out with me for 1 second in the green room. I'll come back. Let me just say goodbye to the people. Everybody, thank you so much. I hope that this was such an inspiring conversation for you as it was for me to lead this discussion. If you have any questions about how to get your brand started, you don't know where to go, you're just like literally confused, you're one of the loiterers just walking around the same place, just going nowhere, because that's the thing, right? You feel like you're in motion, but you're loitering, as opposed to being the wanderer off on a distant journey to your soul's purpose. So I'm here to help you do that. This is what I do. This is what I live for. This is my ministry. This is my calling. This is everything that I am. And I just want to be able to serve in such a bigger way. You know, Jesus says, enlarge in the place of your territory. And this is what I'm doing. I am an international branding strategist. I'm the international branding ninja. And again, I say these things not to be boastful, but to be accurate, because this is the mission. This is the calling. If you want to have this level of support, if you see anything here that you're like, I have a question about, just reach out to me. You can message me on Facebook. You can DM me on Instagram at Faith A. James or Personal Branding Consultancy. We've got 2 pages, and I would love to support you. So with that, I'm wishing everybody a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We're going to be, off, so you won't see us again until next time. But just do it. Just go out there and just start moving. Be in action. I did a reel yesterday where I said, while you're waiting, you're dying. While you're waiting for the right time, you're waiting for the right moment, you're waiting for the right connection, you're waiting for the right... I had a conversation with a client, and she was like, should I wait until I have more videos before I start promoting the YouTube channel? See, that's the mentality that keeps so many of us stuck. It's progress, not perfection. So if 10 people come and they see 2 videos, we're just getting started. Thank you for being an early visitor, blah, 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 right? You've seen open houses where they're like, yeah, we're just kind of getting set up. We don't have any furniture here yet. We're going to be staging this, but yeah, I'll give you a walkthrough. Because imagine if they're like, wait, the furniture isn't here yet, so we're going to wait. That buyer who was eager got connected with another realtor who said, yeah, sure, I've got a similar, project going here. And they purchased that. And you missed it because you were waiting for a love seat. Take action, be in action, flow like water. I love you guys so much. Take care, be well, and we are out. Bye, everyone.